Yes, I grew up in Lead, the son of a miner. I married a gal who was the daughter of a miner. Um, my father was injured in the mine. Her father enjoyed a complete career all the way to retirement. Lead is kind of a tale of two cities, of many cities, a melting pot. I guess you could call it a gamble or acting on faith. I was trying really hard to figure out how I was going to place a title on this small talk this evening. But I know growing up that men who worked underground at Homestake left every day with the thought of faith in their heart that they were going to make it back home at the end of the shift. I know that their wives and their children had concerns when they were going underground. There was always a gamble because hard rock mining is not an easy life. There's much that goes with it that causes danger. I know that families worried about the siren that rang out. We called it the Homestake whistle in my neighborhood. It was like, okay kids, be home when the whistle blows. There were times the whistle blew when the shifts ended to mark different times during the day, noon, 6 o'clock. But if the whistle blew at an odd time, many of the mothers and the wives in our neighborhoods would get very anxious and concerned because the whistle also blew if there was an accident or something happened underground that was untoward. So we kind of lived with that, always in the back of our minds. It was almost like at the end of every shift when the blasting occurred. I'm pretty sure most everybody remembers the shudder that would come up under your feet through the floorboards. And you could mark the time, whether it was daytime or evening or a graveyard shift when the blasting happened. So there was lots of activity that was going on that was faithful and gambling and exciting. And there was always this undercurrent in that group of people of a strong bond of community and camaraderie. My father was disabled or in one of those periods where there was no union at the mine, and the Homestake had an aid fund for their employees, as Kim told you in my bio, of $5 a day. A family of 9 lived. We became very familiar with commodities at the local courthouse. Cornmeal in brown paper bags, peanut butter in gallon cans that you could stir for hours to get mixed up with the oil, canned beef, and the generosity of our neighbors. I don't think we would have survived as children in large family in Lead if it wouldn't have been for that. Certainly we didn't have much money for entertainment, but this facility, this gift, the historic Homestake Opera House, this part of our lives growing up allowed us the adventure and exploration of a library full of books, wonderful, wonderful opportunities, stereoscopes that you could watch the original kind of viewfinders. So as a young child, we could watch what was going on in the world around us. A movie theater where for a very reasonable amount of money, you could come and take in a matinee on a Saturday morning. As an intermountain child, I got to have swimming lessons in a full-size pool. Many of my friends and relatives never had that opportunity. So I spent countless hours here. And this was our entertainment. In addition to hanging out at the edge of the open cut and flying kites from the updrafts that came up until somebody came along and chased us away. We also thought that Homestake whistle was a siren to chase us off the open cut when they spotted us with their binoculars over there, because we were told that big tower up by the gate shaft had some guy sitting in it watching the open cut. It worked for some of us ornery kids. So my gamble and my faith, my story. When I was in high school, I was in speech and debate, and it was an escape for me and from a large family of kids. It was a way to get attention. It got me out of the school for a few hours, a couple times a month, but it also introduced me to a wider group of children, students. One time, riding the bus from Rapid City back to Lead, following a speech and debate tournament, the mayor's daughter, was talking about trying out for cheerleading in high school. And she was bragging about who was going to be the cheerleaders and how it was going to be. And I was kind of that kid on the other side of the track at that time. And so it was the merchant's children, it was management and the mine children, it was multi-generational families' children, but it was all girls. So I said, I think I'll try out for cheerleading. She said, you can't try out for cheerleading. So I can certainly try out for cheerleading. There's no rules that says I can't try out for cheerleading. She said, well, you can try out, but I'll bet you $100 you won't get picked. It was a challenge. It was a gamble, but it was a challenge. And I said, fine. And so for the next 3 or 4 days, I prepared to try out for cheerleading. This was it, folks. Not much better. No beard, but not much better than this. All the good-looking girls in the entire senior and junior class. This competition. So I went out in the center of the auditorium with a full student body, and much like this experience tonight, I kind of made a fool out of myself. I jumped around a bit, and I used an old familiar cheer, and I struggled my way through it in an embarrassed fashion, and got astounding applause. Then I was nervous. The next day I found out that every single student in the student body voted for me. Not a one did not vote for me. I had a place on the cheerleading squad. So then I had to figure out what that was all about. I had 5 sisters who I really didn't like that well. Now I had to spend a lot of time with 7 girls on an 8-member squad where I was the only boy. I had to figure out how to lift them up politely, and that wasn't easy either. I will tell you that the experience was wonderful. I got to travel around the Black Hills Conference, and I got to meet every cheerleader in every school in the entire Black Hills. And it was really quite great. At halftime, they would bring me Cokes, maybe a hot dog. They always wanted to talk. Maybe that was where I became a feminist. Maybe that's where I started liking my sisters. Not entirely sure, but all of those things happened. What I learned is you can take a gamble and you can take a risk. You don't have to settle in for what your father does. You can go out into the world and try something different. And I did that. I was lucky in many respects. I weathered my childhood. I went out and was successful. I came back to the Black Hills because of the geography and the family that are here. I was able to find a place for myself, and my wife was willing to go all the way with me. And she's still here with me today. A gamble and faith. It's all working out, and now I'm back home again. I learned that the people that shared their lives, their food, their time, helping my family, uplifting us as a group in this community, is a good way to live. And if you have an opportunity to help somebody else, you should. So, I'm retired. Don't let that secret out. I'm happy to help out here at the Opera House. I like doing a lot of things for kids, and I'll continue to do that. But hold on to your faith.